Hey folks, this is Rob Breeding. I will be your instructor this summer for Global Media Studies, Global Media Literacy. It's JMC 100. This is an eight week course, begins June 3rd and runs to July 22nd. I'm going to kind of work off of the syllabus as I kind of introduce you to the class. You might find it useful to open up the syllabus and take a look at it while you're watching this video. First, let me say a little bit about myself. This is my 6th year teaching at UNK. I am a journalism senior lecturer. I'm also the advisor to the Antelope, the student newspaper, and work with student media at UNK. I got my start in communications in the newspaper business back in a previous century, back in the 1980s, actually, and have seen a lot of changes in the media world in my 4 decades being involved in writing, reporting, photography, and the movement to digital and video. It's been a pretty remarkable transformation, but in some ways, some aspects of this business have not changed and won't change. You need to be able to write clearly and communicate clearly, and that's a universal skill. For this class, Global Media Literacy, for starters, here's your textbook. Written by Dr. Ralph Hansen, who is one of our journalism professors here at UNK. And since we're taking this online, we won't be having lectures during the summer. I teach this course a little bit differently than when I teach it during the regular school year. So we'll be working primarily off of the textbook and the content in the textbook. There'll be a few places where I'll bring some other information in. When I teach the class during the school year and we're lecturing 2 or 3 times a week, I bring a lot of different media into the course, but that's a little hard to do when we're working online. And this is a condensed time period, 8 weeks. So it's a little more straightforward. You will, of course, need a computer with internet access. I recommend you use Chrome as your browser. Firefox works as well. I don't have any problems with Chrome, so I recommend it. In terms of grades, I keep it very simple. 90% and up is an A. 80 to 90% or 80 to 89% is a B. 70 to 79 is a C. 60 to 69 is a D. And below 60 is an F. I generally do not award plus and minus grades, except for times when I'm trying to, maybe somebody gets an 89 in the course and did really, really well and maybe just blew an assignment somewhere. And so I'll turn that 89 into an A minus. That's kind of what I use pluses and minus fors to, when your point scale doesn't quite add up to the grade, but it allows me to bump somebody up. There are 3 types of assignments we're going to have in this class. Quizzes, every unit. Each of the 8 units has a quiz. They're generally 20 points, 20 questions, multiple choice, true, false, based on the textbook. You only have 25 minutes to complete the quiz, and sometimes the questions are a little tricky. So make sure you've read the material before you open up the quiz and get started. That will be key for you doing well on those assignments. We don't have any late work or makeup work in this class, and it's really important with this condensed time period that you get on top of the schedule and stay with it the entire semester. Once you start missing assignments, you're going to fall behind, and it may be impossible to get caught up. So I just don't do this during the summer. If I start allowing late quizzes and that sort of thing, some of you are going to get behind and you're going to struggle the entire semester. So Everything needs to be done by the due date, the deadline. There's a schedule at the end of the syllabus with all of your assignments on it. There is, of course, you'll get your updates through Canvas. You've got and it's right there in the class, the due dates on every assignment. So pay attention to that stuff and stay on top of things. You cannot afford to fall behind in this class. So 8 quizzes. There are 4 longer writing assignments due this semester that are all 400 to 600 word writing assignments. They are scattered about through the semester. You do have a writing assignment for Unit 1. I extended the deadline beyond the first week, give you a few extra days to get started on that first writing assignment because, of course, it's the beginning of the semester. So you'll notice that instead of being due on Sunday, I think it's due on Tuesday or Wednesday. Just be aware of that. Normally your assignments, your homework assignments, the other 3, which are in units 4, 5, and 7, are due on Sunday. And when I say due on Sunday, it's the due time is always 11:59 p.m. So they'll normally be due on Sunday. You have a little extra time for Unit 1 because we're just getting started. Be forewarned about Unit 4. The homework assignment there requires you to watch a movie that was released in 2023 or 2024. And you're going to use that movie. You're going to grade that movie by something that is known as the Bechdel test. And if you have not heard of the Bechdel test, there's a discussion in Unit 4 about it. It talks about the way movies are made and the role of female characters in the movies. But you want to get that movie watched ahead of time. If you're rolling in Sunday evening to write your homework assignment and you haven't yet watched the movie, you're going to be in trouble. And the same goes for your Unit 5 homework. There is a documentary about a Frontline documentary, and it's about Facebook and about some of the controversy that occurred during the 2016 election. And I realize this is a little bit long in the tooth here. We're 8 years away, but some of the issues have not really changed, and it's still, I think, a useful reflection for us. As we move forward with the class, I may replace this assignment with something related to Twitter or as we now call it, X, or some of the other changes. But media coverage of elections is really important, and I think you'll find that that assignment useful, regardless of the fact that some of those issues, some of the technology, some of the things have changed, but the basic issue of social media trying to avoid taking any responsibility for content that is published remains vital. And then, so there'll be those 4, and then there are weekly discussions, and your quizzes and your homework assignments, they're all open on June 3rd. They open on Monday, and they're available for you to review all semester long. So on those homework and quizzes, if you know you're going to be gone for part of the semester, you're traveling, or you may be out of range of internet access for a few days, look ahead and complete any of those assignments that are due when you will be away. Get those done ahead of time because, again, there isn't any late or makeup assignments. You need to get those done ahead of time. There are also 8 discussions. Actually, there's 9 because I have a short introductory assignment that this is where you're seeing this video of me, my introductory video. With discussions, they will open the Friday of the week that precedes the unit when they are due. But your discussion initial posts are due on Tuesday, And then your 2 replies are due on Thursday of each week after the first week. So, or actually, that's for all the discussions. It's a Tuesday, Thursday deadline. The discussions do open up the Friday of the week prior, so you've got a little advance time to work on it. And if you're going to be gone the following week, get your at least your initial discussion post up. You may not be able to reply. You may not get full points, but they're 20-point assignments. 12 of the 20 points are based on your initial post, and the other 8 are based on your replies. Obviously, there's no attendance. You just get your work done, and that's how we, grade things in this class. There's no points for attendance or anything like that. There's just points in your assignments. When you write when you post, write your introductory post. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. I discussed my media background. Personal life, I love to hunt and fish. Those are my my two primary recreational activities. I'm going to be traveling about this summer doing some fly fishing, and probably up in Wyoming and Montana part of the year. I might do some fly fishing when I'm now currently in Texas and headed to Southern California later. I'll do some fishing while I'm there as well. In the fall, I love to bird hunt, pheasant and quail, and I work as a writer. I write about outdoor issues, and I'm really interested in conservation of game and fish and preservation of those species. I know that it may seem contradictory that I hunt species, but hunting properly managed is sustainable as long as we protect the habitat for those species. I'm not married now. I'm divorced now. I have two twin daughters, two twin daughters, grown. They're 29 years old. It's amazing how time flies. My daughters are going to turn 30 this year, which says something about my own age. I enjoy doing stuff outdoors. I like to write about it. And the other thing I really love to do is cook. And I've been playing around a little bit. I haven't done anything recently, but I do have a TikTok page where I've done some cooking videos. It's my handle is Holy Quail, in case you're interested in looking at those. I've got a much larger project I'm working on right now, a ramen video that I've got a lot of footage that I'm just now trying to put together. It's probably going to be a YouTube with a shortened TikTok version. So that's all for now. I've gone a long time. The primary way we're going to interact this semester is via email. I've got my email address listed on the syllabus. Using my UNK email, and keep an eye on your UNK email because a lot of updates will be posted that way through the course of the semester. So that's the main way. If we really need to talk something out, we can always Zoom this semester, but primarily email. We should be able to work out most issues through there. So again, thanks for signing up for the class. I'm hoping for everyone to have a great semester, and we'll be in communication soon. Thanks.